Your brain is the most important organ in the body. Unfortunately, some foods can have a negative impact on your brain, affecting memory and mood and increasing your risk of dementia. In fact, some estimates predict that dementia is going to affect more than 65 million people worldwide by 2030. Luckily, you can reduce your risk of disease and associated issues by cutting out certain foods from your diet, and that's what we're looking at in this video. Number 1, alcohol. When consumed in moderation, alcohol can be an enjoyable addition to a meal. However, when consumed in excess, it can have serious effects on the brain. Chronic alcohol use results in a reduction in brain volume, metabolic changes, and disruption of neurotransmitters, which are chemicals the brain uses to communicate. People with alcoholism often have a deficiency in vitamin B1. Now, this can lead to brain disorders that cause memory loss, disturbances in eyesight, confusion, and unsteadiness. Now, excessive alcohol consumption can also have issues on non-alcoholics, aka binge drinking on the weekend. These acute episodes can cause the brain to interpret emotional cues differently than normal. For example, people have a reduced sensitivity to sad faces and an increased sensitivity to angry faces when they binge drink. It's thought that these changes in the brain, which affect our emotion recognition, is the main cause of alcohol-related aggression and violence. An additional effect of alcohol is the disruption of sleep patterns. Drinking a large amount of alcohol before bed is associated with poor sleep quality, which can lead to chronic sleep deprivation. Number 2, fish high in mercury. Mercury is a heavy metal contaminant and a neurological toxin that can be stored for long periods of time in animal tissue. Long-lived predatory fish are particularly susceptible to accumulating mercury and can carry amounts over 1 million times the concentration of their surrounding water. For this reason, the primary food source of mercury in humans is seafood, particularly wild varieties that eat other fish, species like tuna, mackerel, and swordfish. The effects of mercury toxicity include disruption of the central nervous system and neurotransmitters and stimulation of neurotoxins, resulting in damage to the brain. However, know that most fish are not a significant source of mercury, so eating 2 to 3 servings per week is recommended because of all the other beneficial nutrients that fish have. Number 3, highly processed foods. Highly processed foods tend to be really high in salt, sugar, and added fats. So these are foods like chips, sweets, candy, sauces, junk food basically that is calorie dense, makes you gain weight, and can also negatively affect your brain. A study in 243 people found increased fat around the organs, or visceral fat, is associated with brain tissue damage. Another study in 130 people found there's a measurable decrease in brain tissue, even in the early stages of metabolic syndrome. Many studies on the nutrient composition of these highly refined, highly processed junk foods have linked intake with increased risk of particular types of dementia like Alzheimer's disease. Number 4, foods high in trans fats. Trans fats are a type of fat that can have detrimental effects on brain health. While trans fats occur naturally in animal products like meat and dairy, these are not a major concern. It's industrial produced trans fats, also known as hydrogenated vegetable oils, that are a problem. These artificial trans fats can be found in shortening, margarine, frosting, snack foods, ready-made cakes, and prepackaged cookies. Studies have found that when people consume higher amounts of trans fats, they tend to have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, poorer memory, lower brain volume, and cognitive decline. Trans fats also have a negative effect on many other aspects of health, including heart health and inflammation. Ultimately, your diet definitely has a big impact on the health of your brain. One of the best things you can do for your brain health is to eat a diet that's rich in whole, unprocessed foods, limit the junk, limit the alcohol. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Healthline's Authority Nutrition YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video.